good experience. You know, you learn a lot of really simple things, and it's good getting back into the swing of things. Really, so good day. Yeah.
How are you treating this competition? It's kind of like all three of you guys at the same level. Are you hoping to differentiate yourself, and how will you do that?
Yeah, you know, I think for me, just playing my game. I think that's the same for all the other guys. You can't try to be anybody else other than yourself. So just put that all on tape, be your best self, and try to go get it.
Where do you feel like you've improved the most since last year when you were going through your first fall camp here?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just, you know, getting reps and just experience with the guys. Obviously, coming from a different offense at Utah State, we were RPO heavy, and not that we don't do that here. It's just a little bit more pro style. So just figuring some of those things out and getting versed in some of that stuff, and mastery of the offense has been big for me.
How well have you mastered the playbook?
You know, I don't think when I'm out there, you know, I'd say that's where I'm at. You know, I can get guys where they need to be going. So I think full mastery, really.
You got a chance to make a few starts at Utah State before coming here. How's that experience helped you in kind of competing for the top job at quarterback here?
Yeah, so Utah State, you know, true freshman season, obviously you learn a lot. Good things, bad things, and, you know, I had ups and downs over the course of that season, but I think learning the speed of college football is a big thing, because it is different for sure. So learning that, and then obviously learning from some of the mistakes that you make, but then, you know, still going out there and playing your game when it comes down to it. So that was a big thing, just gaining that confidence while I started a few games up there.
What do you like most about this offense and the scheme?
Yeah, I think, you know, we're super versatile. We incorporate a lot of things. I think it was talked about in our quarterback room. There's opposing teams or, you know, other coaches that will talk to our coaches and talk about, you know, how multiple we are in our playbook and how many different things we do, which I think makes it really hard to game plan us. Because of that versatility, we're able to attack all sides of the field. You know, we're super good up front with the O-line, super good run game, and then we have elite receivers as well. So super versatile, like I said.
How do you guys push each other? You're all friends off the field, but, you know, it's a competition as well. How do you guys make each other better?
Yeah, you know, I think just positivity between all the guys is big. We're all super positive with one another because, like I said earlier, when it comes down to it, ultimately you're competing against yourself. You know, you got to be things that you're working on personally. So, like, we're all super positive with one another. I think we're all super focused on how we can all improve, and I think that's pretty much what gets us rolling in the right direction.
How did Jake's situation, as it unfolded, affect your preparation and mindset the last 3 months?
Yeah, you know, obviously we love Jake. You know, the situation was, you know, pretty crazy, but I think when it comes down to it, you know, stay ready soon enough to get ready is my thing. You know, so I'm, you know, even last season where, you know, I wasn't going to see the field really. You know, Gary was the backup. You know, you prep like you're the starter regardless. You know, you're knowing all the coverages of the opposing team, knowing obviously what you have going in the install to each week, and that's just my mindset. You know, always stay ready so you don't have to rush and be like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? It's like, no, I've known what I'm doing, so it's, you know, really just second nature when I get out there.
How do you combat being the tallest quarterback?
Yeah, you know, it's how I've been my whole life, really, you know. So I think obviously there's, you know, just things that I've figured out, and I see it the way I see it, and, you know, it doesn't slow me down, you know, because obviously I can't just grow automatically. I can't choose that, right? It's out of my control. So I think really just, you know, figuring out the game how I have up to this point all throughout high school at Utah State and now here, and just, you know, being confident in my ability, which I am, and just going out there and trying to win.
Watching Jake for an entire season in 11 games, what did you learn from him? What are the positive things you want to pick up from him?
Yeah, you know, something about Jake, you know, that I touched on is just, you know, willingness to win. Jake's super competitive, and I thought that was super cool. Obviously, never faltered during a 2-minute situation because he just wanted to win. I think sometimes you can get distracted with how can I manage this, how can I manage that, but ultimately the goal is just, okay, how can we win here, how can we get it done? And that was something that I thought was really cool that Jake had.
Any other questions?
Yeah, appreciate you guys.